platform as a way to soapbox and spur political, ramblings on it, it's not going to be an effective way to innovate. You want to keep it positive, and this is a way they can hold each other accountable. This is all matched up on a leaderboard, and we run this every so often in our local newspaper to take online media offline and to encourage participation of those that aren't familiar with the platform. So you can see the top ideas, what the most popular users are. You can see all the reputation index on there, who the wealthiest members are. I'm the wealthiest member because I'm the administrator of the platform, but I can't trade in any bucks for any goods. So now what to look for in an idea platform? You want to find a platform, if you're looking at ideation, one that has a graduated process. You don't want a platform that's manual. You want to have certain manual components of it, but that's later on. You want the ideas vetted on by the participants of the platform, because that helps your workload decrease. You want a mechanism that encourages sustainability. Game mechanics have been laughed at by some, but they're the key to sustainability. Would you go back to the GSA's platform and submit an idea? I wouldn't. You have no motivation. There's no trigger to get you to go back to the platform to do it. There's got to be some trigger mechanism that gets you good. And you want an idea management component. At some point, these ideas will become projects. So you have to have a way to manage them. You have to have a way to build them. So a sneak peek at version 2. This is a collaborative element that we've added to it. It's a wiki that we're publishing all of our research on Manor Labs. Right now it's at wiki.cityofmanor.org. And we want people to have a knowledge base where they can see what we're doing. And we also want them to collaborate with us and to share. Open innovation is open. And so we want to share everything that we've done and get their feedback on it and hear what other cities are doing as well. In addition, I presented last week in Vietnam remotely. Thank goodness. So the 12-hour time difference was quite problematic. And we have joined forces with the Open Courseware Consortium. How many of you know of Open Courseware? iTunes University. Have you all seen that? iTunes University, where you can download open classes. So there's several universities, including Stanford and MIT, that publish classes in open format. And we understand in Manor that the key to innovation is education. People need to be educated. Right now, you can go and you can take a class at MIT or Stanford for free, but you don't get college credit for it. So we tied it into our platform. So in the future, by taking a class, you get credit for it on Manor Labs. We created a certificate program, and we'll also reward you an InnoBucks. So Manor Labs qualified as a higher education institution. We're going to publish 10 courses on Gov 2.0, and we're going to put them out so agencies and other citizens can see what we're doing and how we did it. And we're going to encourage people to take classes in urban planning and innovation, persuasive technologies, and reward them for doing so. So any questions about Manor Labs? I think I have a lot of information, but I wanted to go over some of our products.
So as far as the site architecture, you guys designed that on your own?
It's a customized CSS that rides on top of it. Now the platform backend is powered by Spig, which is based out of Pleasanton. So, QR codes. You probably have gotten my business card by now. On our business cards, we have quick response barcodes. This was actually one of our first innovations that we looked at, and it started out of a need for a document management solution without having to go out and buy one, or finance technology, or just operate it as is. So what a QR code is, it's a two-dimensional barcode. It's an open standard now. You can generate them for free, and you can read them for free. It's got error correction up to 30% can be built into it, so you can put them on cakes and cut the cake which the way you can. Try it. So it's an interesting explanation to the lady at Walmart when you have a print one out for you. So they're trackable because instead of a UPC barcode where you encode a series of numbers, we encode a unique URL. They all look the same, but they all link to different spots. So we can track where they go. Our QR codes out in the field, there's 24 fixed mounting QR codes, and they can be read 3 ways. You can scan it. They also have a passive RFID tag on it, so if someone has a near-field communication device or phone, they can touch it to that RFID tag and get the same information. And they each have a unique serial number. They can be entered if they don't have a camera, they can read these, or they don't have an RFID reader. So some currently deployed examples. How many of you have seen the movie What's Eating Gilbert Grape? No. It's filmed in the early 90s. What's Eating Gilbert Grape? Young Leonardo DiCaprio and young Johnny Depp were in the movie. That was filmed in Manor, Texas. So there's been a few movies that have been filmed in Manor, Texas. This is the water tower that he climbed. And so it's been sitting there since its inception initially, and it has no interactive content on it. So what we did is we put a QR code on the bottom. And when you scan it, you can view a picture of Leonardo DiCaprio climbing the tank, and you also get information about the tank. when it was built, who built it, how much it cost, and history behind it. This is our smart park. Manor has one park. It is a 1-acre park, but we did all we could do with it with technology. We blanketed it with a high-speed wireless mesh, put power in so people can go to the park and they can play their games in the park using our mesh. If you scan this one, you get information about who the park's founded after, and you can even book the park from your phone. This is our Blair Mansion. This is one of our historic mansions in Maine. It's on the Texas Historical Marker system, and it's got a big bronze historical marker, but that's it. It's not engaging, it's not interactive to our kids, and so we added a QR code to it. So you can scan this and view pictures of the home when it was in development and under construction in the late 1800s and history about it. We're about to tie a YouTube video tour of the home as well, where you can scan it and actually get a virtual tour through the home. So now, this is where the interesting components of QR codes come up. We had never intended to do this, but we did it just out of pure chance, and it proved to be quite successful. When we build a project, we have to put a wooden sign up that says this is a capital construction project. This is your bond money at work. They're probably metal here. In Manor, they're wood. So, lack of budget funds. So the only people that read that sign are the people that install the sign. It is not engaging. There's no reason why anyone would want to go and read the sign. So we added a QR code to it. And we linked this to a mobile website that we can provide real-time information about the project. Was there a change order in the project? How much does this project cost year to date? Did the contractor change? So we can provide all that information. And in return, the citizens are now empowered to go and find it out on their own. They're not just going to see it, the city's wasting my tax money. They can go and scan it and find out exactly how that project has impacted them and what its purpose is. A lot of people see lines going in the ground and they really don't know what it is. They probably can't tell whether it's a water line or a sewer line, because I still can't. You can scan it and you can find out information about the project. So we use them for our open government initiatives, capital projects, historical buildings, getting into more asset tagging, and vehicle tagging. All of our vehicles have a QR code on the side. So you see a giant QR code driving down the street. If you're stopped by our police and you're cuffed and put on the trunk, you will have your head on a QR code. So we blanketed the town with them. The goal is to interface it in with our work order system. We use civic, and now we have a component of FirmStep on our work order system that we're going to interface, and so when you scan a vehicle, you can see where the vehicle is supposed to be. And that's important. You can see how effective that vehicle is. Ultimate accountability, and it's great employee motivation. Now how-tos. How do you do it? If you have an iPhone or an Android-based device, Android you can download, there's an app called Barcodes. An iPhone, there's an app called Enigma. There's a QR app, and I'll put these slides online as well so you can get some of them. There's over 1,000 phones that read QR codes. They're quite heavily used in Japan. If you go to a McDonald's, you can scan a burger wrapper, and you can view the lack of nutritional content in the burger you're about to eat. So we brought them over. They're starting to be used in marketing here in the States, but we're using them for open government initiatives. Now, to make a QR code, it looks quite complex, doesn't it? It looks like it requires a lot of programming and software development. This is the information I used from a Google code called Zebra Crossing. So I filled out Dustin Haisler, City of Manor. This is all my contact information on the back of the business card. Now all I have to do to make the QR code is hit the button Generate, and I have a QR code. I can right-click it, save it as an image, and put it wherever I need to go. You can also tie into their API. civic did. So if you go to civic, all of their issues now have a QR code flyer that residents can print out. It has a QR code specific to the flyer, to the incident, and you can scan it to vote. So it's a way that residents can tag problems in cities. So a few of our other projects that I'm going to run through briefly. This is our Manor 311 system, and Rhett will recognize this one. Essentially, this will be the new system that replaces our current civic system. What we've done is we're going to use civic and mash it up onto this system. What it allows us to do is it has a back-end system that the guys can actually close out issues on behalf of the government, and we can track effectiveness of the response. Semantic web. So next week we have someone from the University of Trento, Italy coming to Manor, and we'll launch the semantic web pilot using QR codes. Essentially, depending on who you are, so if this user is a citizen, when they scan a QR code affixed to their meter, they'll get tax history about their home. What's the assessed property tax value? If you are a developer or a building inspector, you'll get the inspection history for the home off of the same barcode. So we're providing levels of indirection based on who they are using semantics. It's an open source system, and it doesn't cost us anything. It can be cookie cut to any agency or any other place at no cost to them. It's funded by the EU, and we're quite excited about it. We're also working with Touch Attack on an RFID tour system. I told you that our QR code signs have passive RFID tags on them, or if you have an